Alright, second one, x squared plus x minus 6.
3 and 2, negative 2? Wait, no.
Minus 2 times x plus 3.
Very good. X minus 2, x plus 3. Awesome. Alright, the area of a circle P is 49 pi inches squared. What is the circumference? So what did you set 49 pi equal to? Pi r squared.
I know that.
Divide by pi. So you get 49 equals r squared. So what is your radius? 7. Okay, are we done?
No.
No, you have to find circumference. How do you find circumference?
I use the green sheet.
2 pi r. So 2 pi times your radius, which is 7. And so what is your circumference?
14 pi.
14 pi.
And your units? Inches. Awesome.
So you set it equal to that because why? It's area of a circle.
Okay, number 3, calculate the distance between the points. Maddie, the formula sheets are right there. Both of you. How do you find distance? What is the formula? What is the formula?
B1, no.
Very good. x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Okay, so when you set it up, I have 4 minus a negative 6, which is positive.
Wait, why would 4 and 4 be x1 and y1?
It doesn't matter what you choose.
Oh.
So you have 10 squared plus 6 squared under the radical, which is 136. And when you type that in, what do you get? Very good. Okay, last one. Locate the midpoint for the line segment with the endpoints 10, 6, and negative 4, 14. How do you find midpoint?
1 plus x2, I got it.
Wait, is this subtract then? How did you get 4 plus 6?
What the heck? Wow, you guys are cool.
Yo, this is algebra.
I'm joking. They just read off the thing.
So you have 10 plus a negative 4 divided by 2, and 6 plus 14 divided by 2. So you have 6 over 2, 20 over 2.
Holy crap.
And what is your midpoint? 3, 10. Okay, so you have to know how to do all of this to be successful today. Okay, so this is the base for what we're going to do today. So, are there any questions on the warm-up?
Yep.
What?
This one, it says minus 2, but you added it.
Because you have a double negative. 4 minus a negative 6 is a positive. Any other questions?
Hey, can you keep it over there?
Alright. Notes.
If you just put it in regular, like 4 minus negative 6, it still come out positive, right?
4 minus a negative 6 is adding because it's a double negative.
So like you don't have to change it, it still comes out the same.
What do you mean change it?
To a plus sign.
Yeah. You have to change it if it's a double negative.
What if you
Alright.
found it?
So today we're looking at equations of circles and how to derive the equations, how to decipher them, how to read them, what each part means, etc. So, starting with the first question, here's our graph, okay, and we're going to answer questions A, B, and C based off this graph. Okay, so what is the radius of circle P? 5. Where is the center?
0, 0.
0, 0, or the origin. Okay. knowing that the radius is 5, what number in this equation would give us 5? How could we get 5 out of that equation? Go ahead, Gabby, what is it? The square root. The square root of what? 25. Of 25. Okay, when you have x squared plus y squared, okay, that's an indicator that you are dealing with a circle. Anytime you see x squared plus y squared. Okay, and then whatever it's set equal to is what we call r squared. Okay, so that's your radius squared. So taking the square root of 25 is going to give us our radius in this case. What in the heck?
I yawned.
That was not a yawn, Maddie. No, we're not doing that. Okay, cool. Looking at our next set of questions. Okay, now we have P prime. So P prime is our image of circle P up here. Okay, what is the radius of P prime?
5.
5. What is the center?
C.
Okay, what kind of translation happened? How did we get from circle P to P prime?
Translation.
What was that translation, though?
Down.
Down 3 over 2.
Down 3, right 2. Okay, which variable in the equation is associated with translating the graph horizontally and vertically? Movements on x-axis affect your translation horizontally or vertically?
Horizontally.
Horizontally. And your y-axis?
Vertically.
Vertically. Okay, letter D. How can you identify the center and the radius of circle P prime from the equation? So now here's our new equation. Okay, how did we get the radius?
25 squared.
The square root of 25.
Oop.
And that was our radius. Okay, if we know that our center is at 2, negative 3, how do you think we got 2, negative 3 based off this equation?
Square rooting all of that.
How do you get 2, negative 3 based off this equation? You take the opposites of what is inside, or you set each of these parts equal to 0. So if you had x minus 2 equals 0, and y plus 3 equals 0, what does x equal? 2. What does y equal?
3.
Negative 3. Okay, so it's the same thing as taking the opposite sign, or you can just say set equal to 0 and solve. Okay, so when you're deciphering a circle equation, okay, your x value is going to move your graph left or right. Your y value is going to move it up or down. Okay, in order for it to be a circle, it's got to have an x squared term, a y squared term, and it's got to have an addition sign in the middle. And then whatever it's set equal to is the radius squared. So don't forget to take the square root. The radius is not 25, the radius is 5. Okay, as far as direction goes, okay, if we went right 2, but up here it's negative 2, what does that tell you that you have to do?
Can you say that again?
Okay, so if this is x minus 2,
You go right 2.
but we go right, what does that tell you about negatives inside? It's opposite. So negative means
Right.
right. Positive would mean left. Now let's go y value, so we're going vertical. Positive means
Down.
and negative would mean
Left.
up. Okay, so it's opposite. Okay, so Right here, we went down 3 and right 2. My x value is negative, my y value is positive. Okay? Alright. Questions on the front page?
Wait.
What's your question?
So that would mean up? Or
Yes.
Okay, wait.
No, it's not. These don't mean up and down. What's in here means up and down.
Okay.
Alright, so here is your equation, standard form, in standard form for a circle. Okay, where HK is the center and R is your radius. Okay, so H and K is your center, R is your radius. Okay, write the location of the center of the circle and the length of the radius. So I'm going to label this one A and this one B, so y'all know what I'm referring to. What is the radius of A? 6. How'd you find that? Square root of 36. Okay, what is the center? Negative 4 or 5. How'd you find that? You took the opposite of your terms. Okay, letter B, what's your radius?
7.
And your center?
2 and negative 1.
Very good. Okay, so far so good, right? Alright. Number 2, write the equation of a circle with the center at 2, 4, and the point on the circle, and there's a point on the circle at negative 3, 16. Okay, so let me show you kind of what that would look like. My center is at 2, 4, and there's a point somewhere on my circle at negative 3, 16. Okay, let's start writing our equation so far. Based off the center, how would I write my equation?
What's the radius?
X minus 2 squared. Don't forget your squares. Very good. And then what? Y
Plus minus 4.
Minus 4 squared equals, how are we going to figure out what the radius is? The distance formula. Okay, so you're taking the distance from the center to that point on the outside edge of your circle. Okay, so I have x2 minus x1 squared, y2 minus y1 squared. Negative 3 minus 2 squared plus 16 minus 4 squared, which equals negative 5 squared plus 12 squared.
Where did you get 16 from?
The point. Negative 5 squared is 25, 12 squared is 144. So what do you get as your answer? What is it? 13. Okay, so my radius is 13. So what am I putting into my equation?
26.
Eh?
169. Why 169? Because it is r squared. So really, once you get underneath the radical, you just take whatever number's underneath the radical. So with that being said, if you have like square root of 7 as your radius, do not convert this to a decimal, okay? You want to leave it in exact form. So square root of 7 would just stay the square root of 7. That way, when you square it, your square and your square root cancel out, okay? If you start rounding and then squaring, and it just becomes a mess. So unless it is a perfect square or you can simplify the radical, leave it. Okay, leave it alone. Yes, Maddie?
So is it a rule that the center, the circle with the center, or like whatever, you have to use like the center of the circle in the equation? Like, in the beginning, not like what it equals.
You're talking about this part?
Yes.
This always pertains to the center.
Okay. But why is it negative? Or
Where?
you're just going opposite of what it
It's
says?
opposite. So remember how you found the center of the circle?
Yeah,
You took the
just flip
opposite,
it.
2, 4.
Yeah.
Now you're just working backwards.
Okay.
Alright, number 3, determine the diameter of a circle with the equation x plus 16 squared plus y plus 15 squared equals 81. How do you do it, Bella?
You square 81 and then multiply it by 2.
Square root of 81, which is 9. Multiply that times 2, which is 18. In this case, we don't have units, so just a u will do.
Good.
Okay, number 4. I want you guys to see if you can do this on your own. Find the center, find the radius, and then make your equation. Find the center, find the radius, and then write the equation. Center, radius, and then the equation.
Is it?
Yeah.
How do you do
Number 3, you take the square root of 81 because that's your radius squared, and then multiply it by 2 because you're finding diameter. If you're finished with number 4, go on to number 5.
Sorry.
Uh-huh.
Is this right for the equation?
Let me see.
I don't understand it, but
I can't see it.
How do you figure out the center again? You just find it, right?
Yep.
You
But you
find
need
it.
to set it equal to something.
so then is that what you do like down here? No?
What? Look at your equation at the top. What do you set it equal to?
Oh.
You just find the center, right?
Mhm. Yep. Good job.
And you use the center for like this stuff.
Mhm.
Can I square this too?
That is already squared. We just did that.
That's good, right? That's fine? Okay.
Alright, where's your center? Negative 3, 1. What is your radius?
I didn't get that one.
4. Okay, so what goes in my x term?
3 plus 3.
Plus 3. My y.
-1.
And it's that equal to what? 16. So the biggest mistake people make is they forget to switch their signs, and then they forget to square their radius. So make sure you switch your signs and square your radius. Jordan, put it away.
What's the answer?
That's the answer. Okay, number 5. The endpoints of a diameter of a circle are at 3, -2, and 3, 6. Write the equation of the circle and sketch the graph. So in order to find the center, what are you going to have to do?
Draw.
You could draw and count, or what else could you do?
Do the midpoint.
Midpoint. Very good. Huh?
Wait, I think I drew.
What size is
Okay,
it?
counting would be
I
faster.
actually have a pencil. I just kind of want to use one now.
I have one.
It's okay. I don't want to put 9.
We don't solve the equation, do we?
Wait.
I got 3. Oh. That's awkward. Should we make a circle?
Mhm.
Okay. What if you draw it wrong?
There's no way to draw it wrong if you do it right.
Just draw it.
Should have 4 points.
Oh.
Okay, where's your center? 3, 2. What is your radius?
4.
Okay. And then your equation is what? X minus 3 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals, sweet.
Over the center.
What'd you say, Mike?
I like doing it on my own.
X.
What? You were supposed to do it on your own the past 2.5 minutes.
I don't have the time.
X.
Okay, so this is kind of our base. Okay, you'll have problems like this on your CBA. However, you will also have harder problems. So, look at your completing the square practice.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, this is where all of that fancy algebra that you learned last year is going to come into play. We are going to do 1, 2 together, 1 on your own, and then you're going to work in your groups on the back. Okay? So 2 together, 1 on your own, groups on the back, and then I'll ask for 4 people to come up on the board. Alright. Completing the square. Let's get some fancy colors for this.
Okay, good.
Alright. Raise your hand if you've heard about completing the square, or have ever learned completing the square. You have?
I've heard about it, I don't remember it.
You don't remember it. Okay, so for most of you, this is the first time that you're seeing it, and that's fine. Okay, it's really not that difficult, but again, it comes down to your confidence in your factoring skills. Okay, I'm going to write some steps off to the side. Okay, these are for you to maybe help you. It's up to you. Okay, step number 1.
Wait, I gotta draw my square.
You're moving all constants to the other side. Okay, what I mean by that, let's look at number 1. X squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 6y plus 9. This plus 9 needs to move over to the other side. Okay, so when I rewrite it, it's going to be x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 6y equals negative 9, because I subtract 9 from both sides. So that's step number 1. Step number 2, organize your terms. Okay, what I mean by that is you want to put your x's together and your y's together. So I'm going to have x squared minus 4x plus y squared minus 6y equals negative 9. I want to organize my terms, okay, by their exponent. So my x squared needs to come first, minus 4x plus y squared minus 6y. So I want my x's next to each other and my y's next to each other. And then I want them in descending exponent order. So this has an exponent of 2, 4x has an exponent of 1. Okay, that's why x squared goes first. That's why y squared goes first. Okay, third step. Okay, pull apart x and y. And add blanks. And you'll see what I mean in a second. Okay, step 3. So open up parentheses, x squared minus 4x plus blank plus y squared minus 6y plus blank equals negative 9 plus blank plus blank. Okay, because what you do to the left side of your equation, you have to do to the right side of the equation. So I added 2 numbers on the left, I'm going to have to add 2 numbers on the right.
Why are you adding?
Where?
Right here? What is that?
Because we have to complete the square. Because right now you only have two terms. In order to factor this like a quadratic, you have to have this c term. Okay, so in order to complete the square, you're taking your middle term, or your x term, divide by 2, then square it. Okay, so what is negative 4 divided by 2? Negative 2, and when you square that, what do you get? Sweet. What is negative 6 divided by 2?
Negative 3.
Negative 3, and you square that, and what do you get?
9.
9. Okay, these two values that you added over here, you have to add to your other side.
Wait, what is going on? Okay, hold on. Where did 9 and the 4 come from?
These two,
Yeah.
because you have to divide your x term by 2 and then square it. So negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. Negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. Negative 3 squared is 9. And what you do to the left side, you have to do to the right. So if I add 4 and add 9 here, I have to add 4 and add 9 here.
Oh, what did I miss? Oh, it just filled in it. Okay, just rewrote it.
Yeah. Okay, step number 5.
3 and 4. That sound good?
You need to factor your trinomials. Okay, x squared minus 4x plus 4. Okay, you need to factor that. Okay, what are 2 factors do you get?
2 and 2.
X what, Jordan? For both of them?
No.
No, I'm just asking you. X minus 2, x minus 2?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what about y squared minus 6y plus 9? Help her out. How do you factor y squared minus 6y plus 9? Y minus 3, y minus 3. Okay, what's negative 9 plus 4 plus 9? 4. Okay, next step. Simplify. Okay, what's another way to write x minus 2 times x minus 2? X minus 2 squared. What's another way to write y minus 3, y minus 3? Y minus 3 squared equals 4. What kind of equation is this? Your circle equation. Voila! Okay, so you might have to do all that work, and then it'll ask you for the center and the radius. What is the center?
2 and 3.
2, 3. And the radius?
2.
2.
I like this.
Freaking too much work.
Okay, so that is doing it step by step. Okay, I wanted to write them in color order kind of so that you see which step relates to which part of the work. Okay, because sometimes just reading it you're like, huh, what does she mean by that? Or I don't know what you're like actually, but I would be like, what did she mean? Okay, so hopefully the color coding helped. Okay, let's do number 2 real quick. Once you get good, you can start skipping steps. Huh? Not skipping them, but like combining them.
Are we stepped again?
No, I'm just going to go for it. Okay. So number 2, what's the first thing that you need to do? Don't read me the step, like tell me what to do in the problem. Move 7. Okay, I'm also going to move my terms.
Already? Right?
Yeah. That way, I just saved a step and saved some space. So I put my x's together, put my y's together, and move my constant over. Okay, now I'm going to add my blanks.
Is it always plus?
It's always plus because anytime you square a number, it's going to be a positive.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, Lawson, how do I get the blanks? How do you get the blanks? Plus what? No, I know that. How do I know what number to fill in the blanks? Divide by 2 and what? And square it. Okay, I wasn't asking Paige, I was asking you. Okay, and the steps are right there. All you have to do is read them. Divide by 2 and square it. So, you're not finished yet. What's going in my first blank? What is -4 divided by 2? -2. What's -2 squared? 4. Okay, what's 12 divided by 2? Squared. 36. Okay, so what I put in those 2 blanks, I'm filling in on these other 2 blanks. Cade, what do we do next? Caden, sorry. What do we do next? Very good. We're going to factor the trinomials. So what does this first piece factor into?
X minus 2, x minus 2.
X minus 2, x minus 2. Caden, what's the second piece factor into? Y what?
Is it 12 times 3, right? To get 36?
Oh, yeah, so that's not... 9 and 3 is going to give you 27.
9 and 4.
9 and 4 is going to give you a sum of 13, so that's not going to help you. What times what is 36?
6.
6 and?
6.
6. When you add up your constants over here, what do you get?
47.
47. Okay, now we just have to simplify. Bethany, how does it simplify? X minus 2 squared plus y plus 6 squared equals 47. Very good. Because both of your terms are positive here. Maddie?
So how come you wouldn't, like, never mind.
Okay. Auguste, what's your center? 2, -6, very good. And what is your radius?
Square root of 47.
Don't give me a decimal.
Or 47.
47.
You would put a square root around it, right?
Yeah. Okay, so again, because that's not a perfect square and it can't be simplified, you just leave it as radical 47. Okay, there's 4 questions that you are going to work on solo. Okay, and then I'm going to choose on 4 random people to come up here and teach.
What if you said 1 by yourself and then 3 with a group?
Yeah, so right now do 3 by yourself. Once you've done number 3 by yourself, then you can start working with other people. Okay? But we are going to come back as a whole in 10 minutes. It should not take you 10 minutes to do 4 problems. And we're going to work them up here on the board. So right now, you're doing number 3 on your own. If you're already finished, great. If you finish the 4 problems before time is up, go on to your homework.